Okay, Miles Beckler has been a full-time internet entrepreneur and marketer since 2010. He and his wife run multiple successful niche websites, has generated a lot of leads and thousands of customer profitability with Facebook advertising, so you know a bit about it. Yeah?
Yep, been through the paces a couple times.
Okay. Can we lose the music? Okay. So just
fired up.
Man.
Yeah, so my goal with this time is to make myself available for all of you. And if you want to turn the house lights up, like I don't have a presentation. I'm here to answer your specific questions. I have a strong expertise in Facebook advertising. That's what I just did my talk on here. I've stolen a bottle of wine from the VIP section. I don't drink, so I just took what would have been drunk by me in another life. And whoever asks the best question gets the bottle of wine. So one of you is going to walk out of here with I hope that's a nice bottle of wine.
It is.
Yeah?
It's a nice Pinot Noir.
I stole a good one.
Region. Yeah,
there you go. And I'm not going to choose. We're going to let you guys choose who made the best question. Maybe he'll choose, but I'm going hands off on that. But again, my goal is to really make myself available to ask questions, because in a lot of what you're learning here today, the question always comes back to how does this apply to me? There's no need to come up on stage to ask your question. We have a fancy little microphone box that can go around. And I'll be honest with you, I could just gab about stuff for 30 minutes, but you'll get more value if you leverage me as a resource. I've run an SEO consultancy for years. I made my first money online in 2003. Made my first website in the 1990s. So I've been at this game on many levels for a very long time. And this is kind of my way of giving back. So,
Miles, should it be about paid advertising?
It can definitely be about paid advertising. It can be about Facebook. It can be about funnels. It can be about your headline. It can be, because everything's interrelated, which is something you're probably noticing here. A lot of the themes overlap with each other. But definitely, if you have questions about targeting on Facebook, I'm ready for whatever you got. So, who has a question for the Miles? I know somebody's got at least one question from this. There we go.
You can also come on stage.
Yeah, if you want to come on stage, come on, join me. Yeah, for sure. Your call. Ah, bring it on. Come on up here. There it is. What's your name?
My name's Saad.
Saad?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure, mine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. You said Facebook advertising is your expertise.
Yep.
That's very nice. That's very good. I'm wondering because Facebook has a certain way to act weird. Like you can put. You can put a same ad, same everything, same targeting, same.
Totally different results.
Just duplicate the same ad and get totally different results.
Yep.
Why?
So Facebook is an auction system.
Yeah.
When you submit a new advertisement, you enter an auction. And the auction is ongoing. So let's imagine we had an auction and we were auctioning off a beautiful bottle of wine. You got your entrance ticket for the wine, good call. But if we were auctioning off the wine, in this room, there would be one winner, right? So in Facebook ads, it's the same way. So there's one winner. So when you submit a new ad, if you duplicate an ad set and you submit a new one, you re-enter the auction. And what happens is from the first one that you entered to this new one you re-entered, there have been more bidders in the auction. And what worked on that ad at the time of running the first ad no longer works at the time of the second ad. And this is why I prefer to increase my budget on an ad set that's working, because you don't lose your place inside of the auction. Yeah. And you could tell one thing I would look at is the relevance score on the ad. If the relevance score changes, that's a very clear identifier. If the relevance score goes down, that means you're going to get lower quality traffic at a higher price.
Yeah. Also, scaling ads. How do you scale ads?
That's the $1 million question. Yeah, how do you scale ads? So really, scaling ads for me is about, there's two ways that I like to do it. Number one is I increase my budget.
What percentage?
Little amounts, 5 to 10%, especially when I get over $50 per ad set. Up to $50, you can go from 5 to 10, 10 to 20.
Yep. What's your starting budget usually?
$5 per ad set. I run lots of ad sets, even today, when I have very established ad sets that I know have performed well for me for long periods of time. For $5 is where I start, and when I see that they're delivering value and they're delivering ROI, that's when I increase it. Because as you said, so I've been running this, I have one ad I've been running for over a year. I've turned on and off the same ad sets multiple times. Some months, ad set A will deliver me customers within KPIs. Other months, ad set A will not deliver me customers within KPIs. I don't get emotional about it. I don't care. I simply turn them on. I monitor the results. I turn off the ones that suck. I put more money on the ones that do well, and that's it. And eventually, because there's the law of diminishing returns, so eventually you get less and less returns, and I turn the whole campaign off, and I start 100% from scratch, and I usually reload the same ad sets over again, and then I'll add on new ones. So part one is to increase your budget. Part two is to go find more interests to create more new ad sets, not duplicating out to the same ad set. Go find more interests that are relevant to you and your business model.
Yeah. Okay. But when I scale sometimes ads.
Sure.
I always start with $5.
Cool.
Because you start with minimum and
Yep.
go up.
Yep.
I was scaling like at start 50% of the ad, like it's $5. Then I add,
$7.50.
$7.50.
Yep.
Then 50% again.
Okay.
50% again, and then when I come to 20, I lower the percentage to 25%.
Okay.
And go from there, because it's weird sometimes. Facebook just kills the ad.
Yes.
Like,
Facebook does what it wants. Facebook actually hates us,
yeah.
despises us. So I'm very skeptical of Facebook, and I'm monitoring my numbers consistently. And I'm not even trusting their data. I pull my data from my shopping cart and my lead system. So I'm duplicating to make sure they are delivering on what they want. But I think the biggest thing for you to do is not ask why. Just when the data says that this is no longer within KPIs, turn it off and know that you can start a whole new campaign at some point in the future. And that is the path that I go. So I have some very tried and true ones, but they don't always work for me. And I don't care. I turn them off when the numbers are bad, and I go play and enjoy, and I come back. How often are you increasing your budget?
It depends, because...
Maximum? Do you do it multiple times a day?
What results I get during the day.
Yep.
If I see the ads performing well,
Yep.
I scale the budget for 50%.
During the same day? I highly recommend one change a day, and that's it.
Not during the day, because at first, when I have a new pixel, I let the ad just run, so pixel can get as much information it can.
Yeah, but so none of that information carries over.
Yeah.
So there's this idea that's out there. It's a false belief that you season the pixel, and that is a false belief. Nothing matters what you did up until that new campaign. When you start a new campaign, the pixel data is at the ad set level. So campaign 3, ad set B, the only data the pixel cares about is on that ad set. So everything you did for the months and months and months and months before doesn't matter. And that's what all the fake gurus are teaching you is this matters. So run paper engagement first. And then once you've seasoned the pixel, it doesn't matter. It starts over every time you run a new ad set.
Also that go first PP, then go web conversions, and
totally false.
Yeah.
100% incorrect.
So what do you do?
Website conversion.
Only website conversion.
Only conversion.
For
one new ad set. Everything gets its own ad set because every ad set controls that machine learning system at the ad set level. If you go in and you change the ad set, change anything, change the age, go from 40-year-olds to 30-year-olds, it starts over. You lose all of your pixel data.
Every single ad set.
Every single ad set. The only thing you can do is up your budget or lower your budget, and you won't lose all your pixel data. Any other change,
just
you lose.
the budget, so on the same ad.
Yep. Ad set. Ad set. Mm-hmm.
So
that's the only thing you can touch. Once per day maximum. Because if you over-optimize it, you confuse Facebook. You confuse Facebook, they waste your money.
And they kill the ad.
And they kill the ad. Cool?
Yeah.
All right, cheers, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Why?
Well, maybe he got, no, one winner. I only stole one bottle. I could have stolen more bottles of wine from upstairs, but some of the VIPs wanted the wine. So who else has a question? Facebook related, funnel related? Yes, good call. Would you like to come up or just stay there?
I can come up.
Bring it on. Clap it up, yeah! And what's your name?
Hi, I'm Anya.
Anya, I'm Miles.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
So I have a question. Well, actually, 2 questions.
Okay.
You said you don't trust Facebook data.
Yes.
Before that, I wanted to ask you, do you rely on Facebook data or Google Analytics data or?
Great question. And I realized after my talk I didn't cover this, and it needs a slide for that. What I use is my shopping cart gives me an affiliate link. So I make myself an affiliate for my own product. Then I use my affiliate link inside of my advertisement. So this allows me to see how many clicks I got as an affiliate, and it allows me to see how much revenue I generated as an affiliate. I don't see my lead numbers, but I don't really care about leads that much. It's all about ROI, right? $1,000 in, $1,000 out. So what I do is I monitor over a course of the first week, and then I look at it at a monthly level. And Facebook will say, we got you 300 sales. And my shopping cart says, you got 150 sales. The numbers are always changing, but what I do is I just essentially turn it into a percentage. So in that case, it would be at 50% of what Facebook reporting to me. And you'll find that there's a very consistent percentage. Mine's actually closer to 80 to 90%. So when Facebook says you got 10 sales, I know it's actually probably 8 or 9. And I build this data from my shopping cart directly. Because Facebook wants to attribute as many sales as they can. They want to look good, right? So you need a number that comes from your shopping cart somewhere. And for me, adding an affiliate module on and having an affiliate and making myself an affiliate is the easiest way.
Okay, but in this case, you are just measuring actually less click conversions.
Correct.
I rely on Facebook because we normally don't have so much conversions, especially less click conversions, if we are talking about transactions via Facebook, of course. And that's why we rely on the on the Facebook data,
right,
because it attributes.
Right. So another option would be setting up goals in analytics and running like a UTM tracking, and that way. But so I guess the big answer is I'm looking for a second source of data so I can verify what Facebook's telling me. Because if I'm 100% reliant on Facebook, I know that Facebook's attribution, anybody else seeing Facebook's attribution be a little off, say they sent you quite a few sales and you're like, I didn't get any sales today. What are you talking about? Yeah. So I'm searching for a way that fits within my business model to verify, right? We want to just verify, and it'll be a little bit off, and that's okay. But once you see Facebook usually under attributes by 20%, then you can just do mental math every day when you load the ads. So I don't look at those numbers often. I'll go in, I'll measure it and say, okay, I'm about 80%, and then I just trust it from there. Because I just don't trust Zuckerberg. He needs money for some reason in a major way.
Wow, wow.
It's the truth.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one more.
Sure.
You were talking about the conversions that are tracked on the ad set level.
Yes.
I got information that either you have to have 15 to 25 conversions per day on a pixel level.
Okay.
Either 15 to 25 conversions per week on the ad set level. Yep. For the conversion campaign to work correctly.
The most recent number that they've launched that I've seen, an official document, is 50 per week. And that's at the ad set level only. There's a Facebook group. Anyone who does advertising, and Homie, who was just up here a minute ago, there's a Facebook group called Facebook Ad Auction Live on Facebook. It's run by a guy named Chidri, C-H-I-D-R-I, but it's Facebook Ad Auction Live. Facebook has a live TV show where they brought on the engineers who run the system. So everything I'm telling you, actually, if you watch their videos from internal Facebook employees, they verify everything I'm saying right here. This is not hearsay. This is from people who get paid a salary from Facebook. And it's 50 per week. And for a lot of people, for me, I don't make 50 sales per week. So I go one step back in my funnel, which is the opt-in or the add to cart level. But if you're getting 50 per week, you're giving it enough information to optimize, which is the goal. Yep. Cool?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, there's 2 entrances. If you come up now, there's a 33% chance you will win a bottle of wine. 33.33. You're pretty specific, man. This is a numbers guy. He must like analytics or something. No. Anybody else have a question about Facebook marketing? Running a Facebook agency? Huh? Anybody? No? Doing this for clients? There's so much money to be made running Facebook ads for clients right now. Like if you guys are running an agency and you don't have that as a part of your business model, you're probably leaving $20,000 to $50,000 a month on the table, period. Because your clients know they need Facebook advertising. And it's not that difficult if you're testing a lot of the different audiences. Oh, we gotta have one more question. Not at all? All right. Keyword Kyle in the back, coming through.
Do you need a mic?
No.
No.
Obviously not.
When you run an ad, how many split tests of that ad might you run, and when would you start them?
All right, so the question was, when I run an ad, how many split tests of the ad will I run, and how soon do I start? So for me, I was split testing ads early. That's one of the first things that I did when I was getting into Facebook, because that's kind of the small hinge that swings a big door. I would split test one ad at a time, and I would literally do an A, B. I would minimize the variations. If you add too many variations in Facebook, they won't display all of your variations. Facebook's gonna look, if you put 5 ads in, they're gonna be like, I don't really think these top 2 are gonna work. We're gonna put all your displays at the bottom 3. So to keep my data clean, I would go ahead and essentially do 2 ads per ad set, and that was it. And before, I wouldn't be running the $5 a day large ad set splits. So if I'm split testing ads, I'll generally group a fair number of ad sets that I know are hyper relevant, just to make sure I have a big enough audience. And even with 2 ads, sometimes Facebook does not give you enough data points, and they won't show one ad. They'll show 20% traffic to one ad and 80% to the other ad. So what I do is I duplicate out the ad set, and I'll actually run my ads against each other in separate ad sets. So there's 1 ad per ad set, forcing Facebook to show all of the inventory to that ad. Because if you give Facebook options, Facebook chooses random things based on their algorithm, what they think is going to be best. But as direct response marketers, we want actual user data, and we want large enough numbers. And then so I would test up to 1,000 click-throughs is what I'm looking for before I make a decision. You get statistical significance, obviously. And at that point, I had an ad that just destroyed everything, 18% click-through rates. And I've never had anything close to that before or have since. And at that point, I just stopped. And that was a factor of my business. Before, I was getting a lot of 3 to 6% click-through rates. And I wrote this huge long copy ad, and it just blew everything out of the water. I've retested it twice since in the last year, and I can't even come close. So I need to figure out how I wrote that ad and muster up a new one for another step in my funnel. Does that answer your question? That man wants a bottle of wine. Are you catching what's going on here? He's just throwing shots out there. There's enough time for another question. If someone, all right, here we go. Andrea, you want to? No, mic.
How many ads do you put in an ad set? Always 1 or?
The question was, how many ads do I put in an ad set when I'm not split testing? Just 1.
Not in split testing.
Yep, right now I have 1 ad, and that's it. Everything, all of my ads, and they actually run to the same ad ID. So sometimes if you duplicate out your ad sets, it's gonna give you new ad IDs for every ad, and I actually go in and manually grab the one to carry all of my social proof over. You got a ticket for the bottle of wine, my friend. Very intelligent. Oh, we got another one over here. Wait, repeat.
Yeah.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
What you got?
No, I don't need a mic.
Fire it up.
It's a question about placement.
Okay.
In recent times, I saw on Google Chrome, AdBlock is blocking Facebook ads.
Oh yeah, I run that, don't you?
So I was surprised, and really surprised. And then I was wondering how people are changing their ads. Are they placing much more on the mobile?
Yeah.
Leaving PC space away?
So I run both in the same level. So for me, in placements, I only run newsfeed ads. That's it. Instagram's off, stories are off, instant articles are off, right-hand column are off. I only run the native because I want that experience. I want people to feel like they blend in, and I run all devices. But ultimately, the traffic is trending in a major way towards mobile, especially if you have a younger demographic. My demographic is a little bit older. My best customers are between the ages of 45 and 64. So I keep the desktop on, and I get a lot of actual good value out of desktop. Have you found the breakdown button in the ad manager where you can click breakdown on a live ad set, and then you can break down by device, by desktop, tablet? So that's a way for you to go mine out the data to look, if you've had it wide open, to go see what's been performing best for you. And that's where I realized that essentially I don't want to run anything other than in-feed ads.
But you said you don't use Instagram ads.
Correct.
You don't use them at all.
0.
You don't have.
I've tested it.
You don't have difference between platforms specifically for Instagram ads and specifically for.
I've tested Instagram ads natively, and it did not deliver leads and customers within KPI.
Yeah.
So it's off.
What do you think about Instagram ads?
I think it can work for certain niches. So again, my audience is 45 to 50, 64. They're going to be the last ones to Instagram when all the grandkid pictures are there. So my audience is on Facebook because that's where they see the pictures of their grandkids. So from user behavior and as a function of my business, that makes more sense for me. When grandma's on Instagram, I will probably be investing heavily there. But again, The real reason I'm not doing it is because the data told me this is not as valuable of use of your marketing dollars as Facebook is. I tested Pinterest ads. Pinterest has a very robust ad platform that works very similar to Facebook. I've fired it up, went through the process 2 separate times now, and it has never delivered. I'm getting like $2 leads, and I'm getting 75-cent leads all day long on Facebook, and I'm just not going to pay 3.5, 4x for the same thing. But at some point, Facebook will continue to drive itself into the rocks and sink, and I will be looking for that next thing. But until that day, I'm going to buy every single lead I can from Facebook.
What do you think when will Facebook start pushing the price of the ads? Because
it's happening. For a lot of people, we're in that mix. So I think the question is, at what point are you priced out? And it's different for every business. Information products that have 90% plus margins are going to stay a lot longer than e-commerce products that only have 30% margins, right? So there's a lot about what your business, and if you're trying to sell a $7 tripwire, or if you have a $1,500 course, you got a lot more to work with in a $1,500 course. So for everyone, the answer is going to be different. The big trick that you can do is to add a one-click upsell. If you don't have a one-click upsell yet, that's a way to you keep the same funnel, all your numbers up front will be the same. Generally, 25 to 35% of people will take you up on your one-click upsell. You get more money out of your funnel, you're still break even or better. And that's what we've done. So we got priced out of opt-in to OTO. And so I added on a one-click upsell. And now it's opt-in, OTO, one-click upsell, and I'm back to profitable again. Aha, I get to run this game for a little while longer. How long? Your guess is as good as mine. But I'm actively, my wife and I run a very dynamic business. I'm far from all in on Facebook. I'm obviously a skeptic. I appreciate the access to their audience, but Facebook's numbers, like 24% less time spent on Facebook. There's a lot of interesting numbers coming out, especially in the younger demographics.
Instagram took Snapchat.
Destroyed Snapchat. You don't not sell things to Zuckerberg for $3 billion when he wants to pay you $3 billion for something. He will crush you. He will crush us, and that's what he wants. So, and to go a little farther, when I say Facebook or that Zuckerberg hates us, Zuckerberg wants Nike, Coca-Cola, people who are going to spend billions of dollars through Gary Vaynerchuk and VaynerMedia. He wants them to advertise because they will run millions of dollars a month. They won't really care about their CPMs, a $4 CPM, a $12 CPM. They don't care because their budget's finding a home anyways. For us, we're measuring things. We're direct response marketers. We're forcing people to take action, and Facebook's kind of like, I don't really want people to leave my site. I want you to just show a pretty video that makes your brand look good on my site. So that's why Facebook actually hates us.
Facebook is actually just for branding. At the moment.
Branding, yeah.
They just want brands.
Totally.
And specifically, I think they're going in a space of replacing television. They're going to buy.
That's their goal. They've got Watch. They have their own TV shows, but you're going to have a hard time getting over YouTube on the video side of things. Yes, sir. Welcome to the party.
I have a question regarding AdSense. If you have different interests inside, how you get some analytics, some data, which interest is working better than the other one?
So,
find a trick like to have some data, like in GDN, for example?
So let me rephrase the question, make sure I understand. So if you're running a bunch of different ad sets, how do you know which ones are working and which ones aren't?
No, let's say you have one ad set and inside you have 5 interests.
Oh, right.
You get insights for which interest is working, which one is behaving.
Totally. You can't.
Yeah.
Right, which is why I break out and I run all my ad sets against each other.
One ad set, one interest.
Exactly, because then you can look at it straight across and you can say like, okay, Nike Golf, I'm getting leads for $1.30. Titleist, I'm getting leads for 75 cents. Callaway Golf, I'm getting leads for $4. Well, let's turn off the $4 one and the $2 one, put all our money here, and keep testing new interests. The only time I group interests together is when I'm split testing my ads, and I want to make sure I have enough inventory. A lot of our interests are very small. I run to interests that are 20,000 people, 100,000 people. If you're doing Nike Golf, that's going to be like millions, right? So that's a big enough interest to run your split tests on. But when I need to make sure that I'm hyper-targeted and I'm getting enough inventory to run an actual split test in a relatively quick amount of time, that's when I actually group them together. But other than that, I don't run them together because of that exact thing. So if we clump up 6 interests together, the odds are there's one of them in there that's performing way better than the others. Right? So I want to know that, so I just separate them all out. I start small, and the data will guide me as to which one. The funny thing is, yeah, Exactly. And the funny thing is that the one that performs best can change from 1 month to the next. So I try not to let my predisposition to guide me. I try to, every time I start a new campaign, I literally start everything from zero. I get my judgments. The past is the past. It's like the roulette wheel, right? Every time you spin the ball on the roulette wheel, it's a new spin. Not what happened in the past doesn't kind of measure up.
Okay, thank you.
Cool? Yeah, cheers, man. You're in for the bottle of wine as well, which is smart because it's free wine. Why wouldn't you get a ticket to the raffle that gives away free wine? Well, see, Kyle, he's already checked out back there. He's like, I got my hat in the ring for the wine. I'm going to go on social media and... Good man, good man. What's our time?
We've got, yeah, I mean...
Time got a little messy.
We have time for my Finnish friend.
Hey,
You know,
all right.
Short question. I just got a message from Facebook that when you just posted this content, they want me to boost that post.
Yes. And how much are they asking you to spend to boost that post out of curiosity?
Finnish site, it was only 20 euros.
Okay. Interestingly, the last time they asked me to boost a post was $200 to reach 34,000 people. Now the CPM isn't terrible on that compared to other mediums, but that same message used to be $30 US to reach 30,000 people. So this trend is going to go up, and I don't use that button, surprisingly, but what I do is, I go into the ad manager and I create a new campaign, and then I create the ad set of who I want it targeted to. Because that's the big thing that makes Facebook unique is how much control we have over the targeting. I can target people who like a certain author who have written a book that solves their problem, which is the same problem that I solve. Great. So I'll target them, and then on the ad level, there's a button that says choose existing ad. And if you just published it, it's the top one. And you can either scroll down, there's a way to pull the number, but it's actually easiest just to click choose existing ad, use the existing ad. So you're doing the same thing, but you're setting up a website conversion-based ad, and then if you want to split test it against different interests, you can. Which is what I obviously recommend to do. But we run micro launches, 3-day launches, and I'll group like 3 or 4 proven ones together, and I'll just show them to that, like our email list, our past customers, and 2 or 3 interests that I know are consistently good, and I'll group that together and send that off for 3 days. But that's just because I have a short time frame. If it's evergreen, I break everything out, and I go really slow, $5 a day to see what brings money back to Papa. That's what I'm looking for. Every time I put money into Facebook's hand, like, where's it coming back? That's what I want to know. How quick is it coming back? Thank you, sir. Good to see you here, by the way.
Who is the winner?
What's that?
Who is the winner?
Who's the winner? I don't know. Is that we're ready to choose? All right, so how about everyone who asked a question, why don't you come up on stage with me for a quick second? I won't make this too embarrassing, I promise. I'm kidding, it won't be embarrassing at all. We just need a way to identify you if you wouldn't mind. So if you asked a question, Kyle, come on stage. Yeah, there it is. We got one person clapping. There's one person who's really excited about this. That was my co-conspirator on who, that's my wife. And she technically stole the bottle of wine, just saying, Andraj, it wasn't me. Sorry, babe, I totally just threw her under the bus. Was that wrong? All right, so here's how we're gonna do it. You guys are judging, and we're looking for the best question. I don't really even know what that means. Kyle, you all right there? Good. Good. So I'm gonna, oh yeah, there you go, cool. I'm gonna go behind them, I'm gonna put my hands above their head, and you guys have an opportunity to applaud. Considering there's 14 people here, it's gonna be an interesting experience. If you hear no one applauding for someone, why don't you just be that person who jumps in and makes everyone feel like they're welcome here. So we're gonna start here with our first. Who thought this was the best question? It's pretty good. You're judging this, by the way, so pay attention to, yeah, thank you, yeah. And fantastic. Question number 2? Oh, we even got some shouting.
May I add something?
She wants to add something. You may.
Yeah. I just wanted to add, I and Simone are actually from InOrbit, so didn't want to imply anything, just...
Oh, there you go. There you go. Andraj, thanks for the bottle of wine, buddy.
We didn't hear the clapping.
There you go. All right, we're on number 3. It was a good question. It was a good question, but I don't know if that qualified you. All right, we got keyword Kyle over here. Pretty good. I don't think it worked, man. I don't think you made the cut.
I have another question though.
Well, we'll get to your questions later, I'm sure. All right, and oh, I don't know. We had a couple of woo-woos over there and a whistle. That was pretty good. Oh, he's ready for it.
Yeah.
Woo!
I won.
Wow, self-promotion. That was pretty good. All right, that's what we got today. Who won the bottle of wine, my friend?
Seb.
All right. Yeah, there was a conflict of interest there, so well done.
Thank you.
Keep with it, man. It's a long process, but keep with it.
Miles Becker, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And now, run upstairs. It's the last
Corre, corre, corre.